Raider Nation, what is going on? Coming to you guys ahead of this Week 4 matchup of the Raiders and the Bills. The Las Vegas Raiders are headed back home for the second game in their new stadium, facing off against the 3-0 Buffalo Bills. I remember last week whenever the Raiders were undefeated. That was nice. Okay, well, we had one bad game. A little ugly. You know, had some heart attacks. I tell you what, the heart rate was definitely up at halftime. Of course, the game didn't end as the way we wanted, but that's okay because guess what? It's gearing up now for a bounce-back game against a 3-0 football team that is low-key playing pretty good. A team that you wouldn't really expect with a quarterback that is highly underrated and always counted out. So we're definitely going to dive into that. I'm going to tell you exactly how the Raiders can bounce back and find themselves 3-1 here in just a few days. But before that, I got a quick message for you guys. Do you guys want to know what is better than watching Josh Jacobs break tackles for first downs or watching Derek throwing bombs to Henry Ruggs, right? Then I need you guys to check out the Contour Pick'em Challenge from my friends at Cox. Now, I played last week, and I was locked into football all weekend long cheering for the teams that I picked. And yes, that is always including the Raiders. So this is all you need to do to play. Just say Raiders into your Contour remote, make your picks each week, and climb the leaderboard to win the ultimate grand prize. Come on, guys, I'm challenging you. Try it out. But you're going to have to beat me to get to the top. So, good luck, and just win, baby. So, with that being said, Raiders, Bills, back in Las Vegas, Week 4. This is how the Silver and Black's going to get it done. So let's quit messing around and let's get into it. Starting off the way I usually do, and that's with the injury report. Looking at the injury report, it's pretty lopsided. You go to the Bills side of the ball, there's going to be one player that they're most likely going to be missing, and that's going to be technically their number one wide receiver. They have a group of wide receivers that is, I don't want to say they're mediocre, but they're semi-talented, and they're just kind of spread out all throughout the depth chart, and you can see them with 4 wide receivers on the field majority of the time. But their number one, I would say their best wide receiver, John Brown, will most likely be out Sunday. I think he's dealing with like an ankle or a calf or something along those lines. So I don't see John Brown out there in the lineup. Well, that's really it. I mean, that's their only injury. Josh Norman's been on IR, so that's nothing new. Of course, that's a little bit of a loss for him. And safety Micah Hyde might not be playing on Sunday either. So their injury report looks pretty good. Now, you get over to the other side of the ball, and this is doesn't look too good for us, guys. It doesn't look too good. No excuses at all, but it's obviously not an ideal situation to be dealing with right now. We have Damon Arnett, who is just being ruled out for, I'd say, at least a month. Few weeks, maybe he comes back in a cast and tries to play again early. Who knows? I'd rather him not. I'd rather him get healthy. Who knows? Damon Arnett was a guy that started to heat up this last game. Played really good against the Patriots. Kind of had, I felt like he played even good as week 1 is his opening game as a rookie. Gave that one big play, but then you go to the Saints game, and I felt like he had a pretty good game. Damon Arnett was coming on, so losing him is obviously a big blow. We have Trayvon Mullen still on the other side, and I see Nevin Lawson filling in on his spot. Per my sources, the depth chart, going down the depth chart, I see Nevin Lawson as a guy that's going to step in, fill the shoes. Maybe Isaiah Johnson starts stepping in. We could see Amik Robertson getting activated for the first time, second time. I don't know. We haven't seen him really play much. Maybe we see him on the field with these huge, you'll see the Bills 11 personnel. You'll see sometimes 4 wide receivers. They spread out quite a bit because the passing games are go-to. So we could see the Raiders secondary really getting tested this week compared to last week. It's going to be a lot different. Trent Brown still not practicing. At this point, I'm not going to keep commenting on Trent Brown, but I will say this, that I think he really is hurt. There's obviously a lot of mixed opinions, but I think he really is hurt. But I think the reason you start to look at this is, how did he come into camp? Because this little nagging calf injury that he's dealing with doesn't really seem to be something that was caused by anything. Did he come in out of shape? What's going on? So obviously maybe he wasn't completely prepared for the 2020 season, and now he's paying for it with injuries. Bryan Edwards ruled out. We saw him go down last week. Ankle injury for Bryan Edwards. He saw that awkward tackle after a big catch he made. And again, just like we saw last week, Henry Ruggs being out, most likely with the hamstring, and that's okay. I mean, it sucks seeing this happen, but I'd rather him be out and getting 100%. As a speedster, you need your hamstring to be 100%. It's just kind of like your ankles, or really anything as a speedster. You need your speed. So if Henry Ruggs isn't going to be 100%, I'm not going to push him to get out there on the football field. I think we have fully capable guys. Obviously, as the go-to receiver, most likely being Hunter Renfrow now. Nelson Aguilar is going to be out there inserted in a key role. Get some Zay Jones mixed in there. We have depth, and luckily now it was cool to see Josh. Woo, I'm all over the place, guys. Getting a phone call, so it's throwing me off. Josh Jacobs practicing in full. And that's really cool to see because obviously he's been dealing with a heavy workload and dealing with a little hip injury. So now that he's able to come in here a little banged up, obviously that tells you that he's healthy enough to be ready for Sunday and be at 100%. So that's super exciting. Sam Young, again, has been practicing on a limited basis. He did all last week too, so that's something that he could play. I hope he does. I hope he's activated. I'd love to see Sam Young at right tackle again. I'd love to see Denzel Good go back to guard. I'd love to see this offensive line kind of get, somewhat of a stability back because obviously we still have Richie Incognito out. Just like I said earlier, no Trent Brown. So I'd like to see the offensive line get back, in order. Just a little bit. Give me 75% of the offense, and I think we can, do some damage. One thing I'm really happy about, for the first time, Nick Kwiatkowski is coming back in limited fashion, but could practice or could play Sunday. Could. He's not ruled out. Could happen. I'd rather see him healthy, but I think he was a key part, or should I say a big reason why the Raiders did not succeed fully in the run game, obviously, this last week. We need our Mike. We need that green dot. Corey Littleton doesn't do that. Nicholas Morrow doesn't do that. Obviously, Raekwon McMillan comes in as kind of a run guy, but he's not a green dot guy. We need a Mike. Will Compton, why couldn't you be back? But that's okay. We need Nick Kwiatkowski back in the lineup to solidify our run defense and get guys in their gaps. That's the guy that makes the shifts. That's the guy that alters everything. He moves the defensive line. He sees everything. He's in the middle of it. He makes the calls. We need Nick Kwiatkowski back out there, and that'd be huge if we can get him back. Because mainly, transitioning, I guess, into how Buffalo plays, they're going to test our secondary. They're absolutely going to test our secondary, but they are sneaky good in the run game when they do it. I mean, they're averaging, I believe last week was over 5 yards a carry. The week before, like 6 yards a carry. Although it's not like a heavy workload, although they're not running the ball 25 to 30 times a game, it's still super effective, and we need to be able to eliminate that. We don't need to be able to get gashed in the run game whenever they do get the ball. We need to hold them down below 4 yards. Give them 3-something yards a carry. Defense needs to step up, but I think this is going to be a good test for our secondary. Of course, we're a little banged up. I'd love to be able to see Jonathan Abram have a bounce-back game, see what he can get into himself, see what we can do whenever the ball is flying through the air, see what he can do out there in open space as a center fielder. So this is, in a way, I see this as a really good matchup for the teams. They're 3-0. They're really good. Last week and the week before, I felt like our strength as a defense was our secondary. So I'm going to be really interested to see how they match up because I really think that this is a very, very competitive game that we're about to see ahead of us. And their defense really is susceptible. This could be a game where both teams, I think over 60 points is going to be scored in this game. I think both teams are going to put up 30. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm not going to say I'd love to see our defense make those stops, but the way Josh Allen's been, the big plays, the way he's throwing the ball down the field, they're going to connect. They're going to put points on the board, and now it's all about our offense being able to match them. And I don't know if they're going to have an answer for Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is going to be able to get back in the groove, and I really think he's going to be able to unleash this game. If he's practicing in full right now on a Wednesday, I think he's going to be 100%. I think he's going to be ready to go on Sunday, and I think he's going to be able to carry us to a victory. So I'm feeling pretty good about this game. A lot of people got on Derek Carr last week, but I think he actually had a pretty decent game. Believe it or not, we didn't come away with a win. I'm sure there's a handful of plays you can look at and say, ooh, I bet he wants those back. But it didn't happen. So either way, it's okay. Bounce back game, 3-1. I'm feeling it. Before you go, I got one more thing for you, and that's from my friends at MyBookie. Winning season returns at MyBookie. Winning season means doubling your first deposit. Winning season means insane props, epic bonuses, and the craziest cross-sport wagers. At MyBookie, winning season means watching live sports and betting live sports all season long. So Raider Nation, get ready, man. The NFL has returned and the silver and black is in full swing. So that means action-packed Sundays and huge cash prizes. Get in on the action. Use promo code RaiderCody and double your first deposit. New players get up to $1,000 in free play. So that's designed to add more excitement to the sports you love and the games you bet. So bet with the best this NFL season for your chance to win big. Use promo code, again, RaiderCody, and double your first deposit. Your winning season begins today, only at MyBookie. So there you have it. Here we are. If you made it this far, please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'm on the brinks of 10,000 subscribers. Let's make 10,000 happen. I'd be so amped. I'd be so amped if we could hit 10,000 subscribers before we get to the Buffalo game. But make sure you like this video. Comment your score predictions. As usual, comment those score predictions. Follow me on Twitter at RaiderCody. We'll be talking about the game all day, of course, on Sunday and doing a post-game show. So like I said, make sure you're subscribed. Turn on those bell notifications. And I will see you guys when we're 3-1. See ya.